It's been one of the craziest couple of weeks in my sports videography career. I watched the internet completely destroy an athlete and then 24 hours later sympathize with him because the full story came out. For those that don't know, my name is Corey Cash. I've been a videographer for the last 9 years. And for the last 2 seasons, I've been working with Dillon Brooks on his social media presence. So like I was saying, the past couple weeks have been absolutely crazy. Dillon breaks his hand. Then he has a legendary media run with various streams. He has the $1 million worth of game podcast. He has some stuff that's still coming out. He's doing some community events, the 3-on-3 villain showdown. And then out of nowhere, this DUI situation hits the internet. And then the news breaks about Dillon, suspicion of a DUI. And my phone by the morning is going absolutely crazy. I'm getting messages like crazy. Hey, do you hear this? People are sending me the TMZ posts. It's just, honestly, it was actually so overwhelming. Athletes are living their life, and obviously because they're famous, their life is under a microscope. So everything they do, everything they say just becomes exemplified. When it first broke the internet, comments are going crazy like, Dillon, you're so stupid. How could you, have everything going well for you and then you get a DUI? You're the dumbest athlete in the world. This, like, just complete disgusting comments. Some I don't even want to say on YouTube because it was just crazy. And then a couple hours later, the body cam footage drops and the energy on the internet completely switches up. It's like Dillon, leave Dillon alone, or he was in the right, or he didn't do nothing wrong, stuff like that. There were so many emotions in a couple of hours. And then I realized this is not about Dillon. This is how the internet works. I finally got to witness the dark side of the internet. People react before the facts come out. The narrative can be completely wrong and their whole world will run with it. For me as a videographer, as Dillon's videographer, I'm like right in the middle of it. Like I'm automatically thinking like, shit, everything we built this year or the last couple of years is done because people are going to run with this narrative and it's not a good look. And, even with his position in the league, he already has a fan base that really loves him. And he has another fan base that are like, I don't really care for him too much. So I was like, man, this is not a good look right now, especially because people don't know the truth. And obviously the inside circle, we all know the truth to this, this situation or what have you. So I was in deep thought on like, what is next? And then you realize that you're not just a videographer, you're literally a storyteller. You are working with real life situations and documenting them as they happen. When you work with an athlete in this sort of light, or you work with anybody that's not just like, you're not just like shooting their highlights or, taking their photos, then you realize that, you're not just a creator. And your storytelling skills are extremely important in how this player, client, subject narrates their own life, especially when shock value things like this happen. And this really separates you from being a videographer and a director, storyteller, narrator, whatever you want to call it, but it really separates you. And I got to witness that firsthand. Your storytelling skills are extremely important. So moving on, the morning after the DUI situation happens, he wants to work out at 8 a.m. And I'm like, damn, I don't even know what to do. So you know what? I'm going to leave my camera gear at home. I don't know if he wants, the camera in his face. He's probably going through a lot. So, let me just leave it at home. As soon as I get there, he's like, yo, where's the camera? Let's keep this shit rolling. I was like, let's go, because at the end of the day, like we know the truth to this story. And he just wanted to show that the work doesn't stop no matter what. So I drove home quickly, got my gear, came back to the gym, and we worked as if no news ever came out. We kept the story rolling. In that moment, it taught me a few things. And if you work with athletes, you need to understand this. Lesson number 1, the internet moves fast and the truth moves slow. I learned when negative news hits the internet, don't panic because the truth comes slow. And at the end of the day, you got to keep doing what you're doing and document the story that's developing here. Hey, yeah, it was that 24 hours was pretty crazy. Another lesson that I learned, and I always knew this, but like I got to experience it firsthand, is athletes live under pressure. They're not like us normal people where, like, obviously, where we can make mistakes and it gets swept under the rug and no one ever finds out, or maybe a select few people find out, but it's not getting plastered over like every news channel that you can think of. It gave me a lot more appreciation for what these athletes have to go through, because you know just as many just as much as they have fans that absolutely love them, they have people that if they're in their ego or having a bad day, can completely throw them off and can completely tarnish their image. So I have a new found appreciation for what athletes have to go through, just outside of their normal lives. Lesson number 3 that I learned is narrative matters. And listen to this part very carefully. And I'm not talking manipulation. Had bro actually done something wrong or against the law, I'm not telling you as a videographer, a sports videographer, to go and manipulate the facts so people can believe their story. I'm not saying all that, because that can backfire times 100 and then you will be cooked. But nonetheless, narrative matters. And if you're in control of this athlete and how they come off on the internet, then you got to really pay attention to the narrative. And if you don't tell the story, the internet will. And lesson number 4 for me is the work doesn't stop. When I came to the gym unprepared and bro said, yo, let's keep this rolling, man, that gave me that gave me a confidence, motivation. I don't know. That's just that moment right there. And that just made me realize, like, don't let the narrative stop. Like, at the end of the day, these athletes, they push through so much adversity in life. And at the end of the day, their basketball or their sport is the main thing. So when I'm filming, that should be the main thing, no matter what's going on the outside. I learned a valuable lesson when he said that. Overall, this is why athlete storytelling matters. Anything can happen in life where stuff goes left. And, because social media is such a powerful force, it could ruin a lot of things for you. So if you're in control, or the athlete's in control of their own narrative, it could save you a lot of grief, a lot of, stress, headache. It could potentially, it could save a lot of money as well. So you, as the sports videographer, you're not just filming, you're a part of the story. If you're trying to level up and get in this space, I do have a community that's linked below, and I'm also working on some type of live masterclass so I can spend more time with you and you can ask all the questions you want. Because when I first started this YouTube journey, I was answering every question, and now it's starting to get, I wouldn't say like overwhelming, but I just can't. I don't have the time to answer everything. So I'm thinking about putting something together where we can have an interaction that's more close, and I can answer your questions within a group setting. So yeah, anyways, I just want to share that story with you, and just have you as a videographer thinking more than the sport that you're actually shooting. When you can tell and narrate someone's life that has some sort of fame, they might not realize it right now, but there is a lot of value to that. I just want to share my experience over the last 3 weeks. Hope you enjoy.